Hello, my lovely edge dwellers. Lucca here, Power Sorcerer, and you're tuning into Ask Lucca Live on, I always have to pause here, September. We're still in September, even though the time is going really quickly. September the 19th, and this is episode 27. So welcome, everyone. I'm on here just a couple minutes early so that the group can assemble before we get started. So if you're looking at this in the recording, you probably want to forward into about 2 or 3 minutes in. Oh, good, people are arriving. Forward to about 2 or 3 minutes in, and then you'll get the real start of this episode. Hi, Robin. This is great. I love it when everyone starts to show up. And we have, I looked at my weather app today. We have excellent air quality. It's like, ooh, hi Marigold. Did you hear that, Marigold? Excellent air quality today. It means you can go out. I have a whole bunch of friends who have difficulties with the level of smoke that we've been having lately, like particular difficulties. So all of those people can start going outside. It's like, yay! You don't have to be cooped up in the cabin anymore. So we have 5 people. Great. We have a lot of questions today. So some of them may have very short answers, and some of the answers may answer some of the other questions. And so we hope that that's what happens, so everybody can get in there. And if not, then they'll be moved to the next episode. We always get them in, which is just great. So I'm looking at my clock. Hi, Desiree. I'm gathering my peeps from all over the world. It makes me feel so happy. From the Yukon and from the island and Vancouver Island and from Toronto and sometimes England and Scotland, and it's so great. All right, I think I'm going to get started, and hopefully the rest of the people who join in a few minutes will have seen this before, so they'll already have heard my intro. Hi, Flora. So what we're doing when I do Ask Lucca Live, and for those of you who've just forwarded in, this is Ask Lucca Live with Lucca, Power Sorcerer. This is episode 27. We're answering it, so people have sent in their questions beforehand, so some of you may not have done that. Some of you may be new to the group and you haven't figured that part out yet, but people send me questions by noon of today, of Saturday, of the day that we broadcast, and then I do my best to answer them. And we never quite know what we're going to get. So I answer the asked and the intended questions because, as we used to say in the business world, there's the apparent problem and there's the real problem. So we can only ask the questions about the things that we're aware of. The things we're not aware of we'll get at some other way because they're in our blind spot. And we're looking for answers that are soulfully helpful to all of you participants and to all of those who will listen later. So because time and space are not what we think they are, it doesn't matter if you listen later or if you listen presently, you're going to be included in this in some way that I can't even predict in the moment. So that's great. I have posted and pinned to the top of the group some things to keep in mind as I'm doing the reading. So I won't reiterate all of those things, except the one thing, which is to say that your gut feel about what anybody tells you is more important than what we tell you, no matter who it is. So listen to your gut feeling. Don't give your power away to anybody else. You are the expert on you. So that's the most important thing. As I said before, time and space are not what we think they are, so anything I might tell you about the future is a probability only because everyone has free will, and you can use your free will to alter that. And if there's any more information you need to have about that today, it will come up during the course of the reading. So if I tell you anything you're not sure about, put it in a holding tank and sit on it until you get some validation. I usually say 2 to 3 pieces of validation, and you're pretty much good to go. Hi, Anne. So I will stick around at the end for about 5 to 10 minutes and give you a little bit more information about my services and what I offer. So if you don't already know about me, or if you only know about some of my services and not others, then feel free to stick around for a few minutes at the end and get a little more detail and ask some questions if you need to ask questions. But in the meantime, I will save that until the end. So I'm just going to pull a card today because I've been pulling one of my Danielle Laporte Truth cards on the weeks that I remember. So today we've got one that says, give people a chance to rise to the occasion. So that's interesting. That's the symbol on the back of the truth cards. It's all gold. And that's what it says today. I believe it's showing up backwards for you, so you may have to look at it in a mirror, but it says, give people a chance to rise to the occasion. Sometimes I don't know what that means until we get to the end of the session. So, excuse my head there. I'm just pulling up my list of questions. So, number one today is from Angelica. And Angelica says, we would like to know if it is in our family's best interest to get rid of our pool before next summer season. So some questions seem like they're the things that plague us, right? It's a big investment to do that, and a big investment of time and energy. And so it's as important in some ways as, what's going to happen with COVID. So, pool. Let me see what I get about this pool. No, don't take it out before next summer. Having it there is going to keep some options open for you in some way that I'm not quite sure of yet. But the short answer to that is no, don't get rid of it before next summer. And they're saying, and I'm saying, well, but like, should it be in the spring or no? They're saying just don't get rid of it right now. Okay, so short, sweet answer for you, Angelica. Second person is Carolina or Carolina. I can never remember which one it is, and we can't get the pronunciation right in the comments here. But I do my best. You'd think I'd be able to intuit this. Carolina wants to know, my question is about my love life. What does that look like? Well, the thing, and I'm not making fun of you here, but what flashed through my mind is it's a holy mess. And holy being the operative word here. And I don't know, like you, sometimes I say things, they're blurts, right? They just come like that. And holy might mean something to you. Like it could be like religious holy. Or it could be whole as in the whole, or like, I don't exactly know, but that's what they're saying. They're saying here that you need to love yourself the way you would like to be loved. And you are searching for unconditional love. So you've got to love yourself unconditionally, even about the process of finding the person you love. So this is about, I've got, in my mantra, it says, set your intention, because everything follows intention. So they're saying, set your intention around this, around your love life. Set your intention around what you really, really want. Don't focus on what you don't want. Focus on what you do want, because that's the law of attraction. That's what you're going to attract to you. So set your intention, pay attention. That means scan for it. Look for it. It's a call. Your intention is a call to the universe. You're saying, woo, it's like mate. You're calling for your mate, right? But you're calling for anything. So set your intention, then pay attention. Then stay out of judgment and have compassion for yourself. And be curious about what's showing up. If you find yourself being judgmental about other people or hypercritical about yourself, both of those are double-edged swords. They go in both directions. So if you want something other than what's coming to you to come to you, i.e. you want something better, then you've got to be doing better with yourself. So be compassionate with yourself, expect success, and have some fun. So that's in the mantra. So that's what they're saying for you, Carolina. And then just get out and about and live your life, because the person who's right for you, you'll trip over them, literally trip over them. Carmen is our next question. Carmen says, I'm wondering about the future of my physical, emotional health and the health of my current relationship. So there seems to be a relationship theme here, well, from two questions. They tie together, I believe. Yes, they do tie together. And this is also about expectations. Not so much expectations about your physical and emotional health, or your emotional some, but your physical health follows your emotional, and your emotional health follows your relationship. This has to do with your values and your belief system about how everyone deserves to be treated, and that includes you. And I have the sense that there's some way in which you're not treating yourself very well, or have not been treating yourself very well in the relationship. You have an expectation that it flips between believing that you should be patient and wait and give people an opportunity and give them feedback and keep giving them more string and more string and more rope and more rope. And my sense is you've given enough rope now. Now you need to say, no, I deserve better. I deserve a second chance. I deserve to somebody, i.e. me, to do to myself what I am doing for others right now. Because if you don't, you get resentful, and the resentment, because you don't believe that it should be there in the relationship, it leaks. So we get messy leakage, and that's hi Moji, and hi Flora, other Flora. This is great. So I think that's what they need to tell you, and there's going to be a lot for you to unpack in there, Carmen. Because I think on a deep level, you already know this. Now you have to figure out what you're going to do with it. And blessings to you while you do that, because how we treat ourselves is always so much more difficult than how we treat other people. So, make yourself two columns. On one side, put how you believe you should treat other people, and on the other side, say, how well am I doing that with myself? I had somebody do this with me in a huge conflict resolution workshop, and they were talking about our human rights, and they put up the UN Charter of Human Rights. They posted it up on the wall, and then they said to us, how are you doing with that for yourself? And that includes, do I allow myself to get enough sleep? Like it's right down to the itty bitty details around this, which is really important for us. Okay. Flora is next. Flora's got a nice big juicy question for us today. I'm wondering if there are any messages for our group from the moths that are in large numbers in Greater Vancouver right now. These are they're moths that come in the form of like almost budworm kind of things, and they get into right now they're in our hemlock trees, and normally they just take out patches of the tree, but they're in huge numbers at the moment. It's a bit freaky. You go outside and the air is full of fluttering moths in the evening. So Flora wants to know if they've got messages. So let me yes, okay, I've got my body acting like a pendulum. Yes, we've got the moths. They're reminding us, that this is, they're not as pretty as butterflies. Somebody was saying to me the other day, moths are not as pretty as butterflies, and it's true. But it's the ordinariness of them that we're looking at the moment. And these moths and their infestation of our hemlock trees go in cycles. So what they're saying to us is they're reminding us of the cycles, and also the cycle of the butterfly or the moth. There's 4 stages to the cycle, and they have to go into the primordial goo in the middle time before they can emerge into what they're going to be, which allows them to fly. It allows them freedom. And I'm pointing out the window here because you can probably see reflected in my glasses. That's the window out there. So they're reminding us that there's cycles to everything, that we're in a cycle as humanity on this planet. We're in a cycle, but we're also in a cycle with nature. Nature is not separate from us. And so it's important for us to attend to the part of the cycle that we're in, and have expectations that this will move on, but also do what we need to do in this cycle, because in the next cycle, the next part of the cycle, it won't be as possible to do what we can do in this part of the cycle. So that's the long and the short of it. That's what they're saying, Flora. And that not everything is about being incredibly showy and beautiful, which is what a butterfly can be, with all the beautiful colors in their wings. But the moth is like the ordinary end of a butterfly, and they can hide really well. Butterflies can't do, because they are in nature where their colors can blend into the flowers. But I think that's important, and I'm going to hang on to that one because I think that's really interesting. All right, next question is for Pepper. Pepper says, I'd like to know if I have the right partner right now. No, you don't. And this is getting frustrating to you. Really, really frustrating, because you've been looking for a long time. And what they're saying is, and this is information for all of us, that we believe that our loved one is about a lot of different things that our society says it's about, and procreation is one of them. And so when we don't find our loved one, what we consider to be the loved one, at the time of our lives when we are in procreation mode, we think we've somehow done something wrong. And they're saying to me today that our loved one is the one that comes along at the appropriate time in our life and in that person's life. And that sometimes the shorter relationships are incredibly important for a very short period of time, and they do what they need to do, and then they move along. So, and some of those relationships come later in life. Hi, Paula. So if you haven't found yours yet, or you found one and fell out of it, or decided your way out of it, or it was that was taken away from you, perhaps the person left of their own accord, or they died, or whatever it is, then know that this is it's a cycle too. It's a process of life, and that the law of attraction works unfailingly. You can't just miss somebody. We're so afraid that if we don't do it right, hi Jennifer, that we're just going to miss the person. And what they're saying to me very emphatically, and you can hear it in my voice, they're saying you cannot miss the person. So live your life and be your best self, and be excited about your world, and passionate about doing or not doing. Sometimes you can not do passionately. And that's you, and it's right for you at this time. And that person will find you, or you will find them, or your friend will shove them in your face, or circumstance will, or you'll meet them in the lineup at the cafe or whatever. But you're not going to miss them. So that's for Pepper. And I hope that's a bit reassuring for you, Pepper. Kimberly wants to know. She says, I'm wondering if I should go ahead and teach yoga in my home studio. I'm scheduled to start classes on Monday. Maximum 4 people in the room, allowing for required social distancing, open windows. COVID numbers are increasing here. I am doubting my decision to move forward, already postponed because of poor air quality and not able to open the windows for fresh air and good circulation. This, I think, is indicative of this never land of indecision that all of us are in right now, because we can't see what's coming. Kimberly, your guides are saying to you that go ahead and get it started. On the days when the air quality isn't good enough, or the COVID numbers go up too high, do it anyway and record it and send it to people. And on the days when they can be there, they'll be there, because they're dealing with just as much uncertainty in their lives as you are, and they need your yoga classes. So do it live when you can do it live, and record it when you can't. You'll be doing it and they'll be doing it. Make a cutoff time so that it's before they would leave their homes to get to you. And then have your equipment set up anyway, and then use it. And if you need some help setting up equipment, then reach out to your network and get somebody. There might be somebody who can lend you something, but there's some way in which you can do this, even if you're just recording your voice with very specific instructions. If these folks are used to coming to your class, then they're going to know what all your instructions mean, because sometimes you do your class with your eyes closed and you just hear the teacher talking to you. So start it. The thing that they're saying to me in my ear right now is, start it anyway. You'll get better at it. You'll work it out. So just begin. We don't have to be perfect when we're going through something like this. We're all figuring it out as we go along. So that's Kimberly. Next person is Daphne. Daphne says, what do I need to know about the future of a documentary project I'm working on? Will it be successful, and will I receive funding? So as I'm reading, will it be successful and will I receive funding? Yes. I didn't know that, but my body is saying yes. You're welcome, Kimberly. Your documentary project will not go completely smoothly, but you will receive funding and it will ultimately be successful as things stand at the moment. But be ready, have contingency plans, because as Kimberly's finding with her yoga classes, there are going to be some bumps along the way. The bumps, take those bumps and interpret them in the light of the values, the philosophy, and the content of what you're putting into the documentary. They're going to feed in. One of the things that you're going to be able to show the people who are going to watch your documentary is how to incorporate what life throws at you as you're going along. And you may not even know what you've shown them until after you've coped with it. But know that the bumps in the road are not just to throw snafus in front of you, but they are actually they are a means for showing everyone what is possible when you take what life throws at you and incorporate it and learn from it and trust that it's the right thing and not the wrong thing that's shown up in front of you. So I think that's going to help you, Daphne. It's a good reminder to me. So I'm hoping that it's also a good reminder to all of you who are here today and will listen later on. Next question is from Andrea. Andrea says, today I'm wondering about life changes. There are a lot of different things happening right now within my family, from health to rebellious teens to possibly adopting a new pet to family moving closer and possibly changing houses. So right now, with all of this going on, I'm wondering what the right path is, and if some routes that have been chosen are the correct ones. Yes, the routes that you've chosen are the correct ones. They're saying yes, all of them. I wasn't sure about that. I didn't want to lead you astray because there's a lot of decisions in here. Your challenge right now with everyone in this group that you've just mentioned is that everyone needs to feel like they are a key member of the group, that they have a key in the process. Everyone needs to be empowered, and that includes your rebellious teens. Your rebellious teens need some responsibility in all of these things that you've just said are going on in your world right now. Everyone needs to be challenged, and with the challenge needs to come support and a belief that whatever they do is going to be part of the process that is essential for all of you to learn together as a group. So consider yourselves a team and take team building philosophy. You might want to go to the library and get some books on team building, because you're a team and they want you to treat yourselves like a team, and that every single person in the team is essential, including the ones who are feeling like they don't have anything to contribute and the ones that are feeling like they're too tired, because those are roles within the team. There's a nice simple little book that I know you can get from the Vancouver Public Library, and it's called Six Thinking Hats, and it has to do with all the roles within a brainstorming group, and it's written by a man named Edward de Bono. So if you look up de Bono and Six Thinking Hats, you'll find it. You might find it, you can find it on Amazon or anywhere, sometimes in a secondhand bookstore, because it's a little thin classic. But they're saying to you, through my memory of this, because I used to teach team building, that's really important for you, Andrea, to keep in mind. So yes, your roots are the correct ones. Eventually you'll get to where you want to go, even if it ends up being somewhere that you didn't know you wanted to go, but you'll figure it out as you go along. So that's Andrea. Tanya. Tanya says, about a year ago, I'm just keeping an eye on my clock here. About a year ago, I had someone who offered to help me during a time when I needed insight in my life. This person offered to help me for free, to my knowledge. Now this person wants their money. Should I pay and be done? As soon as I read this question, I had this immediate hit, Tanya, that and it brings with it a memory from when I was a child. I had been told that by my parents, that I could not, and I was little. I think I was about maybe 6, and I couldn't swim yet. That I could not go in the neighbor's swimming pool because it wasn't safe, because I couldn't swim. And I kept asking, because you don't believe the answer that you get, and I kept asking and asking and asking. And one day I thought I got what I thought was a yes answer. And I couldn't believe my good luck. And I went tearing off down the street and went in their pool. Only to later be hiked out of the pool like this and brought home and severely chastised because I had done what I was told I was not supposed to do. The answer to my question, even though I believed I had got a yes answer, was too good to be true. And often when our answer is too good to be true, there's a higher possibility that I misinterpreted. Or that, our lines just got crossed, but whatever it is, we're acting in good faith. So my sense about you with your question here, Tanya, is that you acted in good faith. You thought it was free. Whether it was free or not is, in a way, not the question, but obviously there was a misunderstanding here. And I don't think anybody did it maliciously, with malintent, right? So if that's the case, if you can take that that guilt off the table and the shame around it for having taken something that you thought was free and not paid for it, and now the person's coming back and saying, you owe me. Maybe there's a conversation that needs to happen here around, I might have misunderstood. Is there even a 5% chance that you misunderstood? And if there is, can you put that on the table? Will it save the relationship? And will it allow you to meet somewhere? Like, was what the person gave you valuable to you? And if it was valuable to you, then would you, in hindsight, with the ability now maybe to pay something or to barter something, would you be able to make a gesture of goodwill towards this person? And do you even want to? My sense about this is that this relationship might be worth saving. Because otherwise I would say, well, okay, make your mind up and walk away. But I'm not sure that you want to walk away from this one or leave it with a bad taste. I have the feeling that there's an opportunity for exchange, goodwill, and learning here. So take that in and take it away and cogitate on it. Put it in your holding tank, and see how it feels. See how what you come up with. But bear in mind that sometimes we genuinely believe that something is true when it happens, and it turns out that it was too good to be true. But you needed it, and this person provided it what you need, whatever it was that you needed. And so now you have an opportunity to go back and revisit this. What would you like to do with it now? Now, lift the shame out of it, because what you did, even if it was shameful at the time, and I don't think it was, but even if it had been, you're a different person now, and you might be able to do something about it. All right, that's all they have for you today, Tanya. Desiree's question, and I might be able to squeeze these in. I'm hoping to be able to squeeze them all in today. So Desiree wants to know. She says, oh, Desiree, you said you would tag me in a couple of photos, and when I sat down to do this, I didn't have those photos yet. So you can drop me a little note here in the chat if it's all right if I leave that until last, or if I leave it until next time, because I don't know what I'm looking at. I'll come back to it, because I may be able to intuit something about that. But I thought I'd leave it up to you, but whether you want me to have the pictures first. And my last question today is for Anne. Well, last before Desiree's. Anne wants to know, things are going well and graphic design projects are picking up. It's been recommended to me to create a Patreon account. It is a platform for artists, but it would be a huge commitment, and I'm wondering if it would be worth it. Patreon can be a fuel for you. Fuel for your project and what you're doing right now is what I'm hearing. And so they're saying, do you really want to put some fuel, big fuel, underneath what you're doing, or would it make it go too fast for you? So this is really about, it is a commitment, but so is what you're doing a commitment. So they're saying, would you like the jet fuel? Jet fuel is what they're saying to me. And if you would, then put your time and effort into creating your Patreon account. I mean, with Patreon, there you have, well, you know how it works, because you've obviously read up on it. So the answer to this is only if you want the results that could come from it. And it really has to do with pacing for you. Pacing is the big deal here. So I think that's their answer for you, Anne. And you're going to have to go away and think about that, because nobody else can do that for you, and nor should they. So Desiree, wait a minute, what have I got? Is there any messages here? You're enjoying the moths. Some people are enjoying them, and some people are kind of freaked out by them. It's things fluttering in their faces. Okay, so Desiree, if you're still on here right now, then let me see if I get you anything from your question as it is. I'm curious about the who, where, what, why, and hows of these images. Of course, in this Saturday time frame, my whole family witnessed this. So you witnessed something. Did you witness what you thought? Yes. Is it something that everybody else witnessed? Well, so let me see if this is of any use to you, Desiree, because I see that you're trying to share here, and it's hard for me to bring it up while I'm on here unless it comes up on my phone, which I've got. All my questions are on the phone. This is one where you know that expression. Yes. So yes. Okay. You're sending me a little flying saucer. Those who have eyes to see and ears to hear will see and hear, and those who do not won't. So I know that with anything that's extraterrestrial, I believe in it. I've had a lot of experience with it, but I have not actually seen anything yet. But people I know and love and respect and trust have seen them, especially up in the Yukon. And some of them out in the Fraser Valley, and many of them in the Gulf Islands off of Vancouver Island. And so what my guides have said to me, because I've said, I believe in all of this and I've been interacting with it for years, how come I don't get to see them? And they said, you don't need to. You've already seen And it's not that you're not seeing these because you don't believe it's possible. You saw this because there's something really significant about seeing it for you at the moment. So it's going to validate something, or it's going to do something that I think it's already doing for you. The people who needed to see it and needed to know it was so will have seen it. You may have seen it because you need to validate someone else's experience, because it doesn't freak you out the way it would freak out some people. Because if you haven't had an experience of this before, or you live in a culture that says that this is bad and crazy and dangerous and all of that, then there's going to be a lot of people around who are a bit stunned and freaked out, scared by it. But they're saying, yes, you did see it. You're not crazy, which is what I say to people all the time about this. And what I also say all the time is that we're all aliens. Like, we all come from somewhere else originally. If you go like zzz, and unzip our Earth suit, like a space suit, you're going to find that we're all aliens under the skin anyway. Just that some of us remember it and some of us don't. So that's it for today. I got through all the questions, and there were 11 of them today. So I'm absolutely thrilled that we got everybody. So I've got 5 people left here now. The rest of you obviously have had to take off, and I'm ending just 5 minutes late today so I could get all the questions in. In terms of the services that I offer, so we're at the official end here. I will be doing this next week. So if any of you know of anybody you'd like to invite to the group, if you are watching this through one of my social media options and you're not in the group for this to be live and you participate live, then know that you can friend me on Facebook and ask to join the group, and I will bring you in, or somebody who's in the group can invite you to come in as well. And I'm trying to remember to post a few things on the wall for the group during the course of the week. And I encourage everyone to set aside around 15 minutes every day to check in with your intuition and make it a ritual for yourself, especially in these times. And so that's the end for this week. For all of you who already know what my services are, you don't need to stick around. I'm going to do this little blurb afterwards just for the people who are going to come back and listen to this later. So thank you all for being here today. You're helping me to be able to spread the light at the moment. And I hope that you all come back and bring your friends and loved ones back as well. So the things that I offer, I'm a psychic and I'm an intuitive coach, i.e. I coach intuitively, but I also provide coaching around people gaining access to their intuition and being able to use it in the world. And I do all of I provide my services at the moment online because we have to do it virtually. So I have 2 tacks on this. One of them is the readings like I was doing today. So I do 15-minute readings that I call ping mini readings. And those are the only ones that have a non-negotiable price on them right now, which is $30 for 15 minutes. And you can book that through the booking page on my website. The other thing that I do around readings is online reading circles. So that has to have a minimum of 6 people, a maximum of 15, and we do it on Zoom. And if you'd like to host one of those, there's a host gift for that. And I'm happy to chat with you about the possibility of it. And you can book that through the exploratory, booking the exploratory session on the booking page on my website. And then the other thing that I do around readings is 1-hour readings with people, and you can, my regular rate for that is 175 Canadian for an hour-long reading. If that would create hardship for you, then you can let me know what you can afford, and that's what I will charge you. Or you might want to barter something or break it up into 2 payments, or you can do it in different ways. And let me know. We'll have a conversation about it, and we'll both use our intuition and figure out what works. Then the other side of what I do is the coaching part of it. I call it niche coaching, and I can work with people one-on-one, and I also work with people in a group. and right now the group has to be online, and so do the coaching sessions. And if you're interested in either of those two options that are about developing your own coaching, your own intuitive skills, and you may be a full-fledged psychic, and you may just have a little bit that you want to be able to use, identify and use more effectively. So if you'd like to have a chat with me about that, the exploratory sessions are all free. And the one for one-on-one coaching is an hour and a half, and the one for information about the group that I have that I am in the process of setting up, because I need enough people at one time to do it. Those are an hour and a half and an hour respectively. And in the one-on-one version, I actually do some coaching with you, so you can feel what my coaching style is like. So if you're not sure if you'd like to be in the group or if you'd like to be in the individual one, then book an individual exploratory with me, and you can experience how I work and feel what it's like. And then you might decide that a group works better. And I can also explain to you how, the benefits of being in a group and how that unfolds. So that's my offerings. I've changed my rate structure for the duration of the COVID virus, because lots of people are experiencing difficulties with cash flow right now. So my philosophy about that, and what I've decided and how I came to those decisions and how it would impact you if you're booking one of my services is on the bottom of my menu on my website. I did a blog post about it. So it's all in there, and it's also on the rates page of the site. And my website is powersorcerer.com, and it's misspelled deliberately because it's play on words. So it's Power Sorcerer, SOURCERER.com. And you can reach me through there. You can also reach me through here. I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on MeWe, because I'm experimenting with being on a platform that doesn't shoot ads at me all the time. I'm on LinkedIn, so you can find me in a whole bunch of different places, and I take these recordings and I share them on all those platforms, including on YouTube. So I have a channel on YouTube if you want to search for it there, and then you'll always get the updates every time I post a new one. So that's it for me today. Thank you all for joining me, whether you joined me in the session or afterwards. It is my great pleasure to provide this service. I love to do this work, as you can probably tell. It's such a pleasure for me. I thank all the guides and angels and helpers and intergalactic beings and everyone who was here to help us with this today. And I look forward to seeing all of you next time. And until then, remember that you too can speak intuition.